Activating dash and looking for duels instead of immediately dashing on entries for space. You can actually force this play if you want.
If Chloe runs in, go run in with her straight away.
Just do it, just do it. Go, go, go.
No dash. No dash. Are you kidding me? Zasko.
Dude, I don't know.
We're just not using the dash, bro. There's not even a smoke. But nice shot.
Okay. We'll take a shot. Let's
Activate
go.
dash, good. Okay. So I see my advice before to activate dash and pick a duel is being taken very literally, and I appreciate that you trust me. I definitely did not clarify enough about the activate dash and look for duel thing. You probably are going to be dashing out 80% of the time, and you're going to be activating dash looking for a duel about 20% of the time. Yeah, that's definitely on me though, and I'm honestly surprised you've been climbing with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to announce that this video is sponsored by Exit Lag. It's a program that I was using before, and I would continue to use it even if I wasn't sponsored. I was having routing issues with my internet provider, which basically just means that the traffic of my internet is not going to where it needs to be, and I'm having extra ping. This program fixes that. Okay, you might be thinking, how much does it actually help? Well, let me show you. With Exit Lag turned off, I get 18 ping to Virginia, 29 to Georgia, 33 to Illinois, and 54 to Texas. But when I turn it on, it goes down to 14 to Georgia, 22 to Virginia, 32 to Texas, and 33 to Illinois. I want to show you guys that it works in game too, so I'm going to queue into a deathmatch, queuing only Texas servers. As you can see, I immediately load into the game with 53 ping. I'm just going to alt tab here and then turn on Exit Lag, and you'll see my ping immediately drop down to 27 to 28. So if you want to try Exit Lag yourself, there's a 3-day free trial. Just click the link in the description. So under the Valorant settings, this is the most important. Make sure you click advanced settings, and you need to have redirect login connections off. I initially had this on and it basically just turned off my voice comms. And then here are my general settings. And all you have to do after that is make sure Exit Lag is on when you're playing Valorant. And if you do have routing issues, this will hopefully fix them. Thanks again to Exit Lag for sponsoring this video. So Haven, this is really good Jett map, but you don't feel comfortable on it?
To be honest, I don't think so. I just I felt like I've lacked a game plan since it returned. Obviously, I've got less practice on this map than any other.
Before I go into this, I wanted to check back last time. So we talked a lot about defense last time because we talked about attack the first two. We're starting defense again this time. We're just holding window, spamming, walking mid down. No, holding window. Okay.
One grass.
Garage, yeah. Oh, people swing window late as fuck.
One grass.
That is crazy. Okay, so obviously we lost crosshair placement because we heard the guy grass. It looks like you're about to walk out. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick pause and boot up Valorant just because I want to talk about the B angles real quick. How we approach the opening duels is very important. And we're obviously in this case going for like a more passive hold, like, oh, if they swing me window, I'll get the kill. Like, we're not really looking to walk out grass to go for that early mid peak, and we're not really playing like a super committed front B fight. I just want to explore some other options and why that could be better on pistol round specifically. The problem that I have with this type of angle hold is if they swing past your angle, you're just gonna get wallbanged through this thing, which makes this fight even worse for you. If you're playing op and something like that, it makes sense. You can try to get that first shot and then dip. But when you play like rifle or pistol, typically you're looking for a more committed gun duel, which is actually kind of what happened here. We're taking multiple shots. When you're in a committed duel, I try to take the angle a little bit wider, something like this, so that if they do end up swinging past, which they don't in this case, but if they do, you're able to commit to the fight a little bit longer. There's a few ways you can play this angle. So you can kind of play it how you did here, a little bit wider. Obviously you can play on the box if you did want to do that, that's fine. And then another one is actually just playing close here and taking the fight and then just dipping. This is more of like a take a one shot type of thing and fall. And then at some point, if you lose timing and they don't swing window, you would just kind of like hold this instead. The problem I have with stunning right side is if you're holding window and say they come out grass, you now have to like peek out like this and they can kind of already be walked up and you can get timing window. Whereas like that's not true if you're here. Like if you can hold this or you can play from this angle, then you hear them grass, you can now pivot and then hide from window. And I think that's a little bit better. This round in particular, because it's pistol, I actually probably would have just walked down mid. They don't have any pop flashes. They do have the random blind, which makes it a little bit scarier. But round start, I actually wouldn't even look at window. I would just look at grass. And then if they do swing window, I would smoke and then try to get out, or I would activate dash and, you know, try to like flick back and then like, you know, dash away or something. Not dashing like that, but into cover. You can go a little
I'd
bit
ask for a smoke to do that, would I?
No. So ideal scenario, you call your teammate over. So this is what we call a 1-3-1. You have one spotting A for info, one spotting C or garage for info, and then you have 3 mid. And then you have 2 guys walking down and then 1 guy holding your window. I'm not saying you have to coordinate that, but that would be ideal. The thing is, I'm asking you to make a solo play here because I love this mid fight here. And I think not that often do you get wide swung window. Like right off rip, they do take a little bit more time, like kind of like what happened here, except that guy did it way later than I was expecting. But I think it's worth the risk to just get that fight grass, and then you can kind of fall back and look at window like this, because it's impossible for this guy grass to scale up on you after. And then while we're here, I just want to quickly go through my favorite ways to play top B. So there's a few ways you could do this. You could go into this corner and then you can play hidden from window. Playing it like this is very good if they play flashes, and then you can kind of peek late and then play like anti-flash. And it's just a good off angle. I stole this from Tens. He'll play this with an op, play late, and then if he hears the flash, he'll peek late after I get the kill. My personal favorite way to play top B is actually on this side, and then I'm holding this angle from grass. Now it's not a fight that you get literally off barrier. It's a fight that typically happens like 5 to 10 seconds later. But this is my favorite way to play the angle, and then I'll just late peek window. And then that also allows me to play anti-flash. So another thing you could do that's a little bit more aggro is actually just barriers here, round start. You actually just go here and you hold the window swing. So you're going a little bit wider. This is actually something you're probably used to in other fights, like A main ascent, B main ascent, A main abyss, where like it's right off barrier and you're just going wide on the angle and they don't expect you here. And the beauty of Jett playing this spot is you can actually get the kill, and then you're pretty safe to fall back. So even if they do come up grass, like let's say you hear them grass here, you like go for a quick fight, talk, smoke, and then you can just get out pretty nicely. This push in particular is something I actually don't do that much, but I've seen a lot of people do it. So something will happen like this. Oh, you're holding window and then you hear a shitload grass. Just keep holding window, and then you can go for a quick C flank when they do the C split or something. Keep in mind this push is worse when they have Killjoy turret compared to Cypher Cam, but something you could do. I do think if we played front B somewhat differently, we probably are more ready for what happened, because you can see as soon as you calm one grass, your crosshair placement just dips and we're no longer ready for the fight. And I suppose that's also something you can do is like you just untuck one grass and then you just take a step to the right, and then you can be the peeker instead of holding window. No one's aggressing mid, which sucks. So if you do play top B, you could ask your teammate to walk down, just to utilize your positioning a little bit more. But yeah, crosshair placement's also really low. Looks like you're pre-aiming for when they swing close wall like this, instead of you pre-aiming for the guy back wall like this.
I'm gonna have to hop into it.
That's a slide though.
Yeah, okay, I am low, yeah.
Yeah, we are low. But you actually are like at the head level because he slid, so.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
But this is kind of an extreme example, but this is kind of what happens is like when you're holding the angle tight. Not like, I know this is an extreme example because he's sliding, but like what just happened here is like what I tried to avoid. Now I know it's a neon slide, but that was actually a good example of what happened. Get the kill here. Oh, nice, we're popping off. Personal preference, as soon as this neon slides and I know I'm going to continue fighting, I activate dash. Like on this frame, after my first shot, dash is now activated. And then I'm now fighting this guy. Okay. And then now I would have dash active when this clove swings me, just in case I want to dip out.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's something that you might want to, I guess, go into a custom or like in the range, just something to practice to where like as soon as you see an enemy, you just activate dash. It's a good habit to get into, because then you would actually be 2 for 2. Like you would have another dash right now, and then you would still have dash active.
Okay, yeah. And
then if you wanted to, you could go for some stupid overheat play where like you just got your dash, you just got 2 for 2 again, you got the kill, you got smoked off, you could dash again and then activate another one. You can get away.
Yeah, okay. So that's like actually a habit that people, like professionals, have. They will literally press dash the second they even see someone in their peripheral vision.
I don't know if all pros do that, because I've definitely seen some pros not activate dash, and I'm kind of like question marking it, and they're just more dialed in on the fights. But I have seen some pros that are very good with it as well. Crowcells in particular, he activates dash like as he gets to gun duel. But some other Jetts, like they don't do it as quickly. But I do think if I'm thinking about optimal, it is the better habit to get into. Okay, so really weird rounds. But what I kind of wanted to point out here is like how long we stayed. For some reason, to me, it just feels like it's impossible for them to hit B at after you get the first 2. and I would rather like kind of guess to where they're going. Similar to that repositioned thing.
I was really torn. I was really torn. And you can kind of see it. I'm going back and forth a bit, and I'm like, and then the second smoke comes in, and I was like so confused. I didn't know where to commit to.
Yeah, and realistically, like you staying is completely fine. You just got your 2 kills B. Like I'm already feeling like I want to leave as soon as I get the second kill. Even though it is ideal for someone to be on B just in case they force the hit. Just like it just doesn't feel likely to me, I guess. Like maybe it's just like after so many reps of me playing this game, it's like percentage wise, and it's more likely for them to go A or go C here, and I would already be gambling that.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
But it's not like much other than that, other than like a gut feeling. Okay, so we rotate into sight. We actually go for the hell angle.
3 now.
Okay. You did not activate dash a single time this round. You can see it, like you can even hear noise, but I'm gonna turn it all the way up so you can hear it. Like you can hear them as you take the fight. Your dash should be active. You get this kill, you should be gone. Dash away, smoke. Like we should not ever get traded here, ever. Unless like he kills you mid dash, I guess. You have high ping. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, 3
yeah, it surprised me that I didn't activate it. I was not thinking for some reason there. Yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense. I'm swinging into literally 2 people that I know are coming.
Right. Another thing I wanted to explore, or I guess talk about, is like this angle that we took. So there's a few ways you can actually swing long. You can actually just like, you know, swing kind of like we did here and try to slice it. My preferred way when I rotate in and I don't have the long smoke is I'll go all the way back to hell, and then I'll take the fight really tight like this. And then this will allow me to kind of cut it a little bit better because I'm further away from the angle. But you can use this box as cover. You see that? Yeah, we should just win this.
I think they just do everything, yeah.
Yeah, no dash. No dash. And you're kind of just wide swinging.
I thought it was deep long 80 tag. So when I look at the mini map,
yeah,
I think I see the dart. I'm imagining he's like at the like orb.
Right.
And then I think the timing, I didn't really register it properly. I didn't think he could be up as much. 80 tagged.
Yeah, but even then, let's say he is by the orb. Like this peak is shit. Like he's by the orb. Like we didn't even like do a pause peak at all. And quickly define the term pause peak. It's like when you pause right before you go into the peak, just so you're more ready for it. So if I were to do that, say I run out here, then I pause, and then I peek. Or it'd probably be better here, like pause peek. Just so you have a more...
Get yourself.
Yep, super important. But I mean, if you're going to swing that anyways, like I said, dash active, and then you can go for it and then get away. Really important. But generally when you are rotating in C, you can like kind of like run. And just take a look at the mini map. Okay, you see the sound cue here? As you kind of enter out spawn, they can start hearing you. So normally like when my teammates are still alive, say like Omen's here and like they're kind of running out, I'll run here and then I'll start walking here. I'm looking for a timing. And then I'll get the kill and then I'll use dash or something. But I don't want them to hear me run out spawn because now he's ready. And just notice how ready he was for you. He's not looking garage, even though all his teammates just died garage. He's looking at you and you're making all this noise. Also, I just realized he actually shot our camera. So our camera gets placed.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he just shot it. So we should have heard that actually, but I didn't notice it the first time.
Bullet.
Yeah, we can actually hear the bullet there. I didn't notice it the first time watching, but in game, like you should be able to hear that. I think, like you should be able to pinpoint that. And be like, oh shit, this guy just broke our camera. But regardless, the more important thing here is make sure you're doing that pause peak when you rotate in. You want to be ready for the
dash as well, 100%.
And dash.
I'm not sure why I didn't pop dash.
Yeah, that's the second time. Oh my god, are we gonna lose this round again? I know. Our money is kind of tough now though. Okay, so we don't go for that mid walk down. We're playing the same angle. Talked about this already. Okay, that guy is new to the game.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what happened there.
Wait, hold on, let me look. We're rotating off of the neon getting pushed back. Okay, so Sova, neon, or sorry, Sova, Clove, Reyna. Rotate in. Yeah, you're doing the shift walk thing here is good. Catch the timing. Yeah, your neon actually ran to heaven instead of fighting with the Omen.
The idea is I don't want the short player to hear me. Or, yeah, I don't know. Try to get a bit of timing.
So we straight up just win this round. if the smoke is here, probably. Because like I can see you're like making sure that if this guy swings too short, you're ready for the fight. And that sucks because I rotate so quick too. We just didn't really get into the spot we wanted to get to in time. Like ideally, as your Omen is fighting, we start sprinting here, but because there's not that smoke here, we don't have that confidence. It might have made sense for us to just even throw our own smoke just to speed up the pacing. In hindsight, of course, but your Omen is fighting, which makes this worse. And then the Neon slide. If the Neon didn't make it that far, it also would have been fine. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm very confident. I'm very, very confident in that spot if the Neon isn't the far left of my screen.
Right.
I'm pretty confident there, but at the same time, a good player would probably anticipate that a bit better.
Another downside
because she has ult.
Yeah, she does have ult. Well, she got the ult after the kill. Another downside to this though is like your Neon, he played A and he didn't get to delay, right? He got like chunked up pretty hard. I think he's on 1 HP right now. And he full gave the site. He's going heaven. When you're in a higher ranked lobby, like say that's a Sova, the Sova doesn't full fall back. He would stick around a little bit, and then he would like, if he still has dart, he would like dart above here. And then that would buy time for your Omen to rotate in, which would then buy you time to rotate in. So this is literally like a problem that you won't have as much of when you're in a higher ranked lobby. Because obviously it's a Sova here, and your A player would actually play to delay. So there's just also a desync between the Omen and the Neon and you guys here. That probably just comes from the lack of comms, to be honest. Like no one's really talking in the game. So it is unfortunate. Like I like hindsight, there's not that much we could do aside from throwing the smoke, but I'm also okay with the timing that you go for here. And that's really important to look at when you're VOD reviewing and getting coaches like, did the play that I make, was it a good one? And was the timing good? And like, if you run this situation back, say 100 times, the timing that we go for is probably fine. The rotate's still fine. We rotate off of front B pretty quickly. We just have to be kind of aware of when we should be speeding up. And when the smoke comes up and the blind, like the Omen blind comes up, maybe that could be a sign for us to speed up. I don't know. But what am I trying to say? I think like the actual play in the rotate is fine. It's just minor details that ends up making it not work.
Makes sense.
Pretty tough though. Yeah, you can hold window, maybe. Oh, shit.
Go nuts.
Damn, this guy actually can go so wide.
Fucking cheat.
I've never actually fought that before.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
that was tough.
That's a learning curve for me. It's like a late swing window moment though, but okay. We really got to win this front B fight now. You're just holding for the slide now.
I'm literally holding for the slide. Neon shot.
The Cypher switched to A. Rotating here is fine. On site. Nice. Neon dies.
Up short, up short.
You make it onto site. Yeah. This is always so nice, but like when you have the long smoke, you have the timing. We make it in time, it's good. We're getting drones. This is us. Go for the timing. Probably would have pushed that, but get the kill. You're playing more patient here. It's good. Not overheating. Peeking with the clove. It's good. You just secure the round. Nice. Good A-hold by the team. So, actionables. I'm just going to put quest here. Next time you play a Haven defense, we just have some checklists you can have is play for the grass peak from front B at least twice. It's just a good one to do. And then play top B at least twice. And you can play it however you want, but I would say can try out the old grass, then peek out window. But yeah, even though we played a lot of B this game, I would actually play B more this game. I just really want to emphasize that point. Cool. Any questions about defense?
Nah. I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing moving forwards from there.
Okay. Oh yeah, and activate your dash.
Big time.
Big time. Big time. Okay, let's take a look at attack.
I got pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
What are we doing? Hitting A? Hitting A with no solo is kind of hard, but Cypher didn't throw a cage. Stop. We're going heavy short here. Get the kill. Okay, I would have dash active right now. Dash is now activated. Okay. If I'm being a little bit more aware of minimap, then my dash would actually be active now because the Reyna is shooting my neon. But say you do have dash active on this Reyna, you could actually chase that Sova that's just using his shock dart right now. I know that's like a micro timing, but trust me, high level duelists see this timing. I
see a good timing though, I think, which is the blind. I see his blind immediately.
Yep, so there you go. There you go. I mean, it is a good timing. Unfortunately, the neon's ready, but
close left.
Not a bad timing. But notice how if you have the timing here and you dash forward, you probably would have beat the neon before he rotates out of the smoke.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but that's like, what, 3 seconds? And he's here. Yeah, maybe you could have beat that, actually. It's hard to say, but nice shot regardless. But we default C, like I said, so we're just not going to get a fight. Okay. You can see here we're not really going to get a fight. You actually might be able to walk up, though. Okay, the alarm bot's bad.
I see.
Wow. Wow, nice shots. Notice how we didn't activate dash once until after. So at this point,
like not even useful.
Yeah, at this point I would activate dash when I'm going into the lurk. Because like, what if this killjoy is back plat right now? You know?
Yeah.
You can get this kill and then like, you say he starts shooting at you now, you could dash somewhere. Would be nice.
Yeah.
We didn't even clear plat though. It's kind of insane. And then here you hear this guy spawn. Still don't activate dash. So, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say like our lurk there is lucky. The alarm bot's missed, number one. Number two, they're not spotting C for info at all, which is pretty common. Like we just got a straight up alert. Now, I don't want to discredit from the fact that you were able to pull it off. It's actually good that you're able to pull that off. And if you find in your games...
I see what you mean though. It's so unlikely. And it's if I was to play that 100 times, it'd be very bad.
Right. Like the fact that you can fully walk up into a bomb site like that, uncontested, off barrier, is rare, right? Rare to say the least. But regardless, kudos.
I think so.
Going for the long fight. Down. That's that. You see that pause peak? That gives you that insta headshot just because you're way more ready for it.
Yeah, I think so. I was a little bit low, but
yeah, I think I'm to the wall.
Still makes a difference.
Your bricks, good.
Hands here.
Activate dash, walk up. Oh yeah, that's dead.
Yeah.
This is fine. Your Cypher should have been defaulting mid, but I don't blame him for wanting to go with the team. Probably dash plat here. I'll explain in a second. Okay. Notice how that guy just ran out spawn. We started A just now, right? So most of the rotates are going to be where? A side. There's going to be a bias of them on this box. It'd be crazy if they're plat side. So does that point first make sense?
That they're less likely. Yeah, they probably rotated towards A, and then even if they did go back, they're not going to cross C. They're probably going to play default. They're probably going to play.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Yeah.
So there's a smoke here. There's a smoke here. Let's just say. That means that if they're rotating in, they're going to be here. So likely the only positions they can play is on this right side of site, which means it makes a lot of sense for us to occupy this left side space as quick as possible to stop this guy from running out of the spawn smoke. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That does make sense.
So that's what we want to do here. Similar actually to that Abyss round where you lurked up, or like, it wasn't really like a lurk, but a similar thing happened on Abyss where you started A, you ran back to B, and then you activated dash and kind of ran in instead of draft dashing up here. When you are rotating, like when you start somewhere and then you rotate to another site, you want to make sure you push the tempo to stop their rotates. Which like goes against that thing that we talked about before. Like again, talking about that nuance.
Situational, I get that. Yeah.
Right. So where we activate dash and run in. So here, when you start, this is just a easy guideline or pattern, I guess, is if you start across map, you start A, and then you want to run back to hit B. Tempo is important. So let's go ahead and push the tempo and take the space of the site that you think is unlikely for them to be in. So in this case on Abyss, you go left side because they're going to be spawn side. You want to hold those smokes. On Haven, that would mean you going plat side So you start A, you go back, you're hoping that they rotate it off, and then you go plant so that you can stop these guys from running in. Because there's a world where we get delayed by these mollies. There's a garage player. And then our Cypher doesn't win that duel. And then you swing and you're low. Killjoy kills 2. And then your teammates are stalled off long because of the molly, and this round is over. Simply because we didn't dash plant to stop this guy from making a play.
Yep.
And it's not that crazy of a world, right? Like, we're low. Cypher, like, he took a 1 on the Cypher. Our Omen smoke was bad. Seems like the smokes this game have just been terrible, though. Because the Clove was doing the same thing on A.
Oh, shit, actually.
Oh, nice. Really good smoke. Good job. Yeah, well played. Well played, well played. The position there was good, too. So short. The attack op is nice, though, when you have an entry duelist.
Sorry, it's like a KJ setup.
I'm pretty happy that you pulled it out. Okay, so if you have attack op, you've probably seen it before, maybe. Top bricks.
Here.
This is typically how attack ops route. They go up here.
Oh, I've never seen that, no.
And then you can see heaven, and then if there's no smoke, you just hold backside like this. But you should always be able to see over the long smoke, I'm pretty sure, to see heaven. So that's kind of nice. There's this is so old, but if you're defaulting, I don't even know why I'm getting to this, it's so old, but if you're defaulting, you hold here, say you get the kill, you can actually float dash, and then now you're on bricks.
Oh,
but
sick. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
that's like such a niche scenario, but I
KJ setup.
don't know why it comes to mind to me.
Yeah, KJ set up kill. Oh fuck.
You can actually force this play if you want.
If Clove runs in, you're running with her straight away.
Just do it. Go.
No dash. No dash. Are you kidding me? Zasko.
Dude, I don't know.
We're just not using the dash, bro. There's not even a smoke. Okay. So this gets into entry routing a little bit. There's two things. The first thing I wanted to point out, because there was another timing that we saw before. When they smoke this, you can actually push through the smoke and have an isolated duel here because this box covers your graffiti, okay? So if you're really trying to force a play and you're smoked off here, you can activate dash and go through, look for this guy, and then clear your close right. Or if you don't think that he's holding you, you can like catch the timing, you can hold this. Sometimes you can catch this guy off guard. That's a timing you can go for. In this case, their Clove, actually, their smoke was a little bit more out like this. So if you did want to go for that play with your op and you don't want to do a movement ability, you could smoke this off and then kind of go through it and clear that and just work it like that. Like cut the site in half real quick with this smoke and then kind of work it. It's very risky with the op. So then we opt for this updraft entry. Now the updraft entry is actually really good if you don't have dash. So the use case that this normally happens is you start the round like this and you did like a quick dash at the start to punish the guy to get in the orb. Or you're just going for a quick tempo play. So let's say you smoke dash here and you're just going really quick. That means that you don't have dash for the execute. So though most Jetts that don't have dash for the execute, when they exec A, is they smoke up here and then updraft into it. And then there's an Omen blend that comes through, and then you can now fight for it. You can also pinch short. So obviously if you go through here and say there's an Omen blind and dart, and then you can kind of like wrap this guy, which is kind of nice. And now you're in here for your post-plant power position. But this updraft is almost never done without the smoke, because as you can see here, we're just in the open to all these angles.
Yep.
Smoke's really important here. But we did have dash, so I don't really understand why we didn't just go for something like this, more standard, or just go for like a standard dash default here. Like that doesn't make sense to me at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Lack of understanding, I guess, of how I should be playing the executes is the only way I can put it. Is I just yeah, it's just I don't have this clear defined push, and I guess I kind of just do these random things, these random plays, because I don't really have confidence in any of the plays that I've got.
Gotcha. So I'll show you the most standard entry on it. It's this one. The second standard one would be box, but the reason why I don't like dashing box is because it gives them the smoke to play in. So if they see this smoke, sometimes they get into the smoke and just kill you, and it's an isolated fight. Whereas like if I dash here, I have like, I pull pressure over here and they can't really run into my smoke. So that's why I prefer this entry.
Yep.
And then of course we just talked about this one. I'll show you the B entry real quick. There's a few ways to do this one. I prefer to go on shelf like this, and then I fight A-Link, and then the smoke kind of covers my C-Link for a second, And I kind of just set up here, and this is my B entry. But some people prefer to go top B like this. And then they kind of just fight like this. I find that I'm just in the middle of everything, so I prefer shelf. And then the other B entry is actually just going on the floor like this. So you're close left, and then you kind of just sit, because like they can't spam you, right? So you're really safe here. This is a version of a safe entry where you're basically just going from choke point to cover, and then like there's no way you die here unless there's a player here that spams you. So very safe entry here. And
I
now
like the shelf one. I do like the shelf one.
It's very good, yeah. It's a good to mix those two up. And if you go C, I'll show you the C entries real quick. So the most familiar one that is utilized the most for a lot of players is just standard default, and then you clear logs or you clear close left. Close left being this way. But and then you kind of just sit here and then you kill this guy. And then after that you look logs. Ideally you time that dash with an omen blind. So boom, you dash in and then omen blind comes in and then you can kill the guy that's blind here. That's the best way to entry C. If you have less util, then I actually like to go here. If you're playing against Cypher, because there's a lot of Cyphers on this map now, I'll smoke here and then updraft dash. And similar thing, and now you're just holding for the... So this is a version of a safe entry because you're dashing from choke point to cover. Unless there's a guy up here, then he'll kill you. But then you're landing here and you're kind of just looking for these kills and then punishing anyone that pushes out garage. So that's an entry I've been doing a lot recently. Another one that you can do is the updraft one. So if you updraft and you dash up here, this one's very good, but it's very risky because now you're in the middle of everything. But it also is the fastest pace execute. So if you have Silver Dart plus ult, if you have Breach ult, if you have like, you know, Breach flashes or like just like really good util, this entry is your best one because now you can get the kills the quickest before the util wears off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. And I guess those probably would be the most useful when I know I'm versing a Cypher. I should be dashing in like that. That was something we spoke about, like, you know, pop dash and run in, look for a duel if we're not versing a Cypher. But in those situations where there is a Cypher that's probably on site, updrafting, dashing is probably worth it just to do.
Yeah, it's good. It's good just to avoid the trap and make it pass. And then the other entry here is the Durka entry. He actually just aims the smoke in this corner here. He doesn't even have to hold it. I like to hold it because I don't want to miss it. But let's just say you throw it and then you just updraft dash on the flat like this. And then now you're here. And this is what I would have wanted to see you do on that killjoy round.
Yep.
Then boom, now you're already fighting the guy's spawn. Can't run out and you just hold this. So pretty good entry. But the activate dash and just look for duel type of thing is very map dependent too, which is something that we can clarify. On Haven, you're almost always going to be dashing out of the choke. Because it's really important that you make it onto site before their fast rotate comes in. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that clarification should change things up a bit because I felt like, I wasn't dashing onto site at all.
But nice shot.
Okay. Taking site. Let's
Okay,
go.
dash good. Okay. So I see my advice before to activate dash and take a duel is being taken very literally, and I appreciate that you trust me.
Yeah.
Maybe we can clarify a little bit more. This activate dash and not dashing in is best utilized when you have initiator util to help give info. Because here we don't have the info, so it might make sense for us to dash across for your neon to get the info on the Reyna. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if you recall the example on the bind game where I didn't want you to activate dash and just, you know, have that instinct to just, I'm dashing, I'm not actually looking for a duel, was because we had like a silver, no, I think it's a Skydog. I believe that's what it was. So we have that initiator util, which allows us freedom to activate dash and look for a duel. Because now the dog is the guy going in first. And now that I'm saying it out loud, like that's probably our best way to clarify this point. Because
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Definitely makes sense for us to dash here, I think. Despite what I said earlier.
One there.
That's unfortunate. We don't get the trade. Like if we dash it, we probably
tempo because I got the kill. It's a fast tempo. Like I'm going plat, the Durka push. I'm going up top side. I'm going.
Yeah, I probably would go
like high tempo.
Yeah, I probably would avoid the top C one and prefer the plat, but there's no reason to overcomplicate it as well. Like we could very easily just go from here to here because it seems like you do recognize that there is a garage player. I forget if there was noise or not, but now you can like double fight this with your neon. This Reyna shouldn't be able to dismiss, I guess.
Would have been good, yeah.
But yeah, I will conceive that point. I do think that maybe I didn't clarify enough Well, no, I definitely did not clarify enough about the activate dash and look for duel thing, because there is honestly more, like if we go back to that ratio on fast rotate with the 80-20, you probably are going to be dashing out 80% of the time, and you're going to be activating dash looking for a duel about 20% of the time. And this 20% is best utilized on rounds where you have like initiator util getting info for you, and then you can just capitalize off of that because you're baiting the drone.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that'll be a bigger change for me because I've probably been dashing in 20% of the time and looking for jewels 80%.
Right.
Like exceptions like Ascent, I just dash in on B site, but that's it. You know, most of the time just looking for those jewels. Yeah,
that's definitely on me though, and I'm honestly surprised you've been climbing with that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Any questions, comments?
No. Honestly, there's a lot to work on from here. So, I guess yeah, it seemed like there's a lot of like mentality stuff as well on the attack. I think mentally I was just not in the right space compared to when I play like a proper game on another map I'm more comfortable with. So I think that comfortability will come as I better understand, I guess, how I'm supposed to play on the map.
Right. And that's why
as that comes, everything should come together.
That's why that's why I approach coaching at a map by map basis. Like it's very important to get comfortable on one map, because like now that you know that your bind is more comfortable, you're able to say, well, look, I have kind of like the vision on how I want to play that, and I don't have that for Haven. Focus on more so attack compared to defense this time around. Just again, continue with that fast rotate, probably more than what you're doing now for this map on Haven. I mean, front B is just so good. Top B, punishing that window peak is really important. And then going for that grass peak, like I said here, that's your quest for defense.
Yeah.
And then attack, yeah, we all talked about that. But cool. If you have questions,
easy done.
Reach out. Otherwise, that could be that. Let me check real quick.